In this episode, I'm going to be taking you through a 7-step KPI checklist to help you know if your current diet is working. Basically, I'm going to help you identify whether or not the way you currently manage your food is effective and aligned to the outcomes you are striving for. And one of the reasons I wanted to share the framework that we have inside our Built to Last community, because we've been through this with our clients, is I think one of the big rabbit holes that people take themselves down when it comes to food and diet is all they associate with when it comes to their diet and their food is it helping me look a certain way? And if you are like all of our clientele and myself, and you run a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're in a high power position where people need you at your best, you need to be sharp in your day-to-day business, you also want to be going home in a good mood for your family and your relationships, etc. The benefits of eating the right foods for you go far beyond helping you look good. So not only will I go through the 7 KPIs and some key questions that are going to help you evaluate and sort of rate yourself across these 7 KPIs, I think it's going to give you a different perspective on the real value that great nutrition can actually have on other areas of your life. And if we can stack more emotional value to eating good food, then that, I believe, will also influence your discipline to eat good food on a more consistent basis. If you listen to this knowing you could eat 5 to 10% better or more. So what I want you to do across all of the KPIs is rate yourself from 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, 1 being terrible, across the different KPIs. So the first one, I'm going to try and chop through these as fast as I can, so stay switched on, please, during this episode. Pause, stop it, whatever you need to do. Also, number 1 is physical performance. Right? Physical performance. The quality of nutrition you put in your mouth has a massive impact on your physical performance. Not just your physical performance in the gym, but physical performance, especially if there's something within your career or job where you need to be physically strong and perform a certain way. But the questions I'd be asking myself when determining, are you a 10, are you a 1, are you a 7, you're a 5, whatever it is, do you feel strong or weak? Are you getting stronger? And are you physically fit? On a scale of 1 to 10 just now, where would you rate yourself in terms of your current strength levels, in terms of your current energy and fitness levels? And are you getting stronger every week or 2 or not? Because if you're not physically fit, you're not getting stronger, and you don't feel strong, then there's a massive likelihood that either the quantity of your food or the quality of your food needs to be improved, as it's impossible to physically perform anywhere near our best without the right nutrition. And it's impossible to optimize energy and have energy out without the right nutrition. But where would you rate yourself right now? Secondly, mental performance. So yes, we have physical performance, but mental performance is not a nice to have or would like to have. It's a must have, especially when it comes to business. You cannot grow a business or to anywhere near its full potential without optimizing mental performance. So the questions I'd be asking myself in this area are, can you sustain concentration and focus at work across the whole day, across your week? Do you easily get distracted, or do you feel sharp and get shit done? Okay, do you easily get distracted, or do you get shit done? Do you feel sharp Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday, or do you have dips across the week? Because if we have dips at certain times of the day or certain days across the week, and from my experience, people who struggle with their health and food and lifestyle management before working with us, typically it's in the afternoon and towards the end of the week in particular where people are struggling with their energy management, their focus, their productivity. their level of influence, and so often it comes down to food, right? But where would you rate your mental performance, not just when it's at its best, but the consistency and the average of your mental performance across, an average working week in particular? Thirdly, energy and fatigue. Third KPI is energy and fatigue. Do you have the vibrancy and stamina to perform at your best? And do you have consistency with your energy levels Monday to Sunday? So where would you rate your energy and your fatigue, or resistance to fatigue? Would you say that you are a 10, you feel really energized, rarely get fatigued? Or would you say that you have dips in your energy, you feel fatigued at different periods? But where would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Fourthly is food focus, basically your desire to eat. Right? As I think this is a major problem and consistent challenge, especially in overwhelmed entrepreneurs who work long hours, who are stressed, have lots of decision making to do, and lots of people to manage. Like, most people eat their feelings, and this is what we sort of put under our education topic as food focus inside Built to Last. Because a lot of people know what to eat, how much to eat, but if their food focus is poor, then they're never going to implement what they need to eat and how much they need to eat. Remember, state drives decisions, especially when it comes to food. People eat their feelings. So in relation to your food focus right now, do you feel consistently hungry, or do you feel constantly hungry? Do you surrender to cravings? Do you feel in control or out of control with how much you eat? Do you feel reactive or proactive? Okay. Is that a 10, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 1? How often do you fail to cravings? Do you eat shit, binge, overeat? Feel guilty afterwards? These are all signs that food focus is the problem. Okay. A fifth KPI is sleep quality. A lot of people who struggle with their sleep is because of what they're eating, especially in their evening meal before they go to bed. Sugar, refined sugar in particular, spikes blood sugar levels. Eating junk food, takeaways, your body's going to really struggle to digest this before you go to sleep. But the questions I'll be asking myself, and then reverse engineering my food, especially in the evening, would be: do you struggle to get to sleep straight away? Do you snore a lot? Do you sleep through, or do you get up a lot throughout the night? If you don't like the answer to any of those questions, there is a strong chance that it's food. Yes, of course, we can have people being on their phone and I don't know, being out, but I cannot tell you the impact that food has on your ability to sleep well or not, and to sleep through or not. But if you're wriggling around, you feel bloated when you go into bed, then it's the food you put in your mouth that is contributing towards that. But how would you rate your sleep quality right now? Is it amazing, or is it terrible, or somewhere in between? Number 6 is stress. Stress. Do you feel consistently stressed or not? If you feel consistently stressed, there is a good chance that it's down to nutrition. Processed food, refined sugar, and alcohol. I know it's not really related to diet, but it's still, well, it is. Alcohol, of course, is still calories in. But how stressed do you feel right now? Or say, as you're listening to this, we're a few months into the year, would you say your stress levels are high, medium, or low? And how well are you eating? And do you think that what you are eating is helping or hindering the stress levels you have and the way you manage stress? Then the last KPI of course, is the obvious one. It's your physical appearance. It's your physical appearance. Whichever way we sugarcoat it, the food you put in your mouth determine how you physically look. How happy do you feel about how you look right now? Are you in shape or out of shape? And how does that make you feel? If you're not happy with your physical appearance, then food is going to play a huge role in that outcome. Okay, but do you feel amazing? Are you a 10 with how you look now and how you feel about your physical appearance? Or is it a 1? Or is it somewhere in between? And again, this isn't about being surface level. There's so many other equally important things we need to care about: energy, focus, mental performance, as I've just said. But if you're not happy with your physical appearance and it bothers you and it's impacting other areas of your life, other areas of your relationships, then we need to evaluate what's going on in our mouth and what can we do about it to change it, to meet our expectations of how we want to feel. Because everything we do is for a feeling. When we're trying to make money, it's for a feeling. When we're trying to buy something, it's generally because we think or perceive that thing we buy is going to make us feel a certain way, make us feel more confident. I think so much of this comes down to confidence, right? But how physically confident do you feel, and how happy are you with your appearance? Because food impacts all of these. It really does. So those are the 7. Now, what I would do when evaluating those 7 is identify how many are 7 out of 10 or above. If you've got lots of these KPIs that are 7 out of 10 or above, you're in a great spot. No one needs to be perfect. We call this the green zone. If you're in a 7 out of 10 or above, and majority of them, you're in a fantastic spot. Anyone who says they're 10, 10, 10 is probably telling lies. I'm certainly not. But if you have too many scores where you are 5 to 7 or lower, I cannot tell you how much better you would feel and how easily you can increase those scores by optimizing your food quality. I would say probably even more so than your food quantity, because I generally think that the quality of your food has so much impact on the 7 KPIs that I've gone through today. I think given the choice of the 2, and I know not every coach or guru would agree with me, I think if someone is a little bit lost with their food, and this might relate to you, and they're thinking, shit, where do I start? If you can focus on eating high quality food as soon as possible, or upgrade the quality of your food right now, by default, you would naturally manage your calories a little bit better anyway, because it's a lot harder to overeat on real food than it is on hyperpalatable, processed, refined sugar food, which is why I've never been a fan of if it fits your macros and things like that, because it's simply unsustainable, because you get less food volume per calorie when you don't optimize food quality. Okay. But just remember this takeaway message is, and I'm sure you do this in business, if you ask yourself the right questions and you evaluate the right metrics, and then put the correct actions in place, even if it's just focusing simply on eating a little bit better than you currently are every day, every week, and then establishing the habit and then optimizing these habits and conditioning them week to week, the impact that will have on your business performance and the confidence, energy, and well-being that you would live with is astronomical. Like, people need to get serious about the impact of food. It literally determines someone's health span. It can have a monumental impact on the longevity of a human. And remember, if you are like me and you run a business and you are the main asset, the founder, the CEO who drives the ship, looking after yourself, looking after your mental performance, your energy management, your level of focus, your level of influence, your actual physical strength is going to play a massive role on the success of your company and business and career aspirations, not just short term, but long term. So hopefully that's added some value. If nothing else, what I would say also is make make a total of all of those 7 KPIs. What was your score? Do that every single week or every single month, or even every single quarter as a minimum, and try and look to improve that, because I think you'll notice lots of patterns and trends in your day-to-day life, with your performance in business, and more importantly, how you feel just by simply eating better. But hopefully these 7 KPIs I've gone through today have opened up 1 or 2 new levels of awareness of value that you can attach to food. So you're not just looking at food as a diet and I just need to eat this food because I need to look a certain way, because the overall value of food, is far more significant than that. So as always, I'd love to know your biggest takeaways. If you're stuck with anything from today's episode or struggling to probe where you're at, please do not hesitate to reach out to me on social media. Just like this channel, goal is to help you live healthier, more confident, and I've got a wealth of experience and a fantastic team behind me helping people do that. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.